Welcome boys. In this video we will be replacing the rear drum brakes on a 2010 Chevy Colorado. So the first thing you want to do is get your wheels off the ground and get the drums off. You don't need to see that procedure. I'm sure you're more than capable of doing so, but I have the vehicle supported on jack stands, rear axle, and I had jacked it up from the part here that goes to the frame where the leaf spring is. So we lifted it up from there so the jack stands underneath, lowered it back down, and that's still chilling in case some sort of catastrophic failure happens. This should land back on the jack. And the front of the truck is on a with a wheel chock there. So when you lift this off the ground, this is what is keeping the truck from rolling. So when you lift the rear end up, this thing's going bye-bye if you don't have a wheel chock. So now that we've done that, you also need to really pay attention here. If you have a cell phone, you need to start using it to take pictures of everything. Or alternatively, if you don't have a camera, which if you don't have a computer or something, I don't know how you're watching this video, so I assume you do, so take pictures of everything. Or alternatively, only disassemble one side at a time so you can use the other side for reference. So as we see here, we have this skinny spring with a long deal on the end going from the back side to the front. It goes through this spot over and into this device, this metal thing. It says R for right. One on the other side will say L for left, and that is what stops this adjustment as this thing rotates in and out. These self-adjusting shoes here. Springs that hold the shoes in place are these. There's these little pokey things that go through. There's a spring and then a cap. As you see, if you rotate this 90 degrees, either the cap or the pokey deal, it'll go right through there and allow that to come off. We have another large spring in here that is connected to that shoe, and through here, that shoe. So as you can see on the back, it's coming out, it's going in on the front, and then the bottom spring we have, it comes up and over, comes from the top, over, and then through the bottom. We're also going to be replacing the wheel cylinder because the keen-eyed viewers have already noticed we have a problem with this wheel cylinder where this is stuck out, and that is causing this shoe to rub against the drum when it heats up and cause a loud squealing noise. So, I mean, there's just enough clearance to not make a noise while it's cold, but as it drives, it expands and then starts rubbing and squealing and making a noise. And then when you apply the brakes, this side will go out and then hit the drum to slow it down or stabilize it. But this side is stuck in that position. If this spot, this is its own piece that is not part of the shoe, and that's for the emergency brake. So that goes up, and then that adjustment piece fits in between there, the long end here, the shorter end with that little threaded gear on this end. And then what you can't see on this side, which I'll go into, is on the other side of this, there will be a horseshoe shaped clip along with a wavy washer that applies pressure and holds that in place. Our new kit has all those pieces. Show you the wavy washer I'm talking about, along with a clip. The back side of the emergency brake will look like this. Wavy washer that'll clip on the other side of this through a groove and then keeps the shoe attached to the emergency brake. So when you pull the emergency brake cable, it will use the shoes to go against the drum to hold the truck in place. So alright, I'll get you set up and then we'll time lapse you watching me disassemble this and then reassemble it. If you do not have this tool, this will be a pain in the ass. You need this thing so when you hold your pokey thing, which I'd mentioned earlier, that looks like this, you can rotate this to 90 degrees to get it out. That's the hardest part of those fucking things. If you got fucking this thing, that's good. Really, you only other need this. You need this and that. New wheel cylinder part. Alright, it's at this point where you would bleed it. Pull this cap off, loosen the bleeder screw, do a little sucky action, and bleeder, that way you can get any air out of the lines and get any old brake fluid out. And as for the front here, so you can see where there used to be some of that brake grease, brake parts lubricant, if you will. So we're just going to put some more that was. That way when the shoes move along this backing plate, there's not that much friction there. Okay, boys, and for the rest of the video, I just have this sped up to 2 times speed. And there's really nothing to show on that. If you want to watch it in real time, you can slow it down to a half speed on your end. But the point is, that way it's slow enough that you can see what I'm doing, and fast enough where this video isn't going to take a million years. But all I'm doing is, now that I got the little horseshoe clip and that wavy washer on the back side of that shoe, I'm able to slide it into place, and then using the tool that came with the drum brake kit, put the pokey thing through the back and through the shoe, use the spring and the cap with that tool to force it in place, rotate the 90, push it in, rotate 90 degrees, and then release. And then those pokey deals, springs and cap, hold the shoes in place, make sure the top of the shoes are in the wheel cylinder. And then the only other tool I use is that tack tool / pry tool, I call it, with the forks on the end. And then my muscles to essentially extend the spring and then clip it in place. There are other tools that come in that kit that are for that, for the springs. I don't ever use them. I just use the pokey deal, my pry tool, and that works just fine for me. So This job is not hard, maybe a little tedious, but definitely not hard. And so now we've got the bottom spring in. We're now working on that big spring in the middle. It's getting it into position, manhandling it, and stretching it into place so that it clips through the outside of one shoe and then coming around from the inside of the other side of the shoe. So I started the inside one first because it's easier to then force the spring through the outside. That's the adjuster. You put that back in the same way it came. Then there's the clip. It'll say R for this side, for the right hand side, L on the other side for the driver's side. And then that spring holds it in place up against the adjuster. Long side goes over the adjustment so it's not interfering. Then the coily side on the other side, and then adjust as necessary. There's a spot on the back of the drum where you can actually adjust it from inside the vehicle. That's how you're supposed to slide the drum on and then adjust it until there's a drag. I'm taking the opposite approach just because I don't feel like laying under the air. This took long enough after a long day. I don't feel like messing with it and laying down much longer than I have to. So all I'm doing is seeing how difficult it is to slide the drum on and off, then adjusting the screw. So that's what I'm doing, is how difficult is it to slide the drum on and off, adjust the screw until it's pretty difficult to get the drum on, and then that's going to be close enough for government work. But the correct way is slide the drum on, then adjust the adjuster until it is difficult to spin the drum. Alright boys, and that's how you replace rear drum brakes, 2010 Chevrolet Colorado. So, hope this helps. Catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching, boys. Peace.